Hello, everyone. What's up, Enigma? How you doing? Up in here early. Appreciate you. All right, as always, going to give a few minutes for people to get up in here, get the alerts that I've gone live, et cetera, et cetera. While we wait, another Q&A Sundays, as always. It's been every Sunday for a while now. What's up, Aaron? Keep the tradition going. Make sure, one day we're going to get a ton of participation. What's up, Nick? What's going on, man? Slaves check in. So funny is when people hear slaves, like, who he calling a slave? But then when you hear people that are saying, I'm a slave, I'm a conscious slave, though, the unconscious slaves got to wonder why. First of all, why would anybody call themselves a slave, right? But when they hear somebody says, I'm a conscious slave, they got to say, why is that person calling themselves a slave out in public in front of everybody? Right? That's going to make them wonder, and they're going to maybe that'll make them click, one day, hopefully. Anything to wake them up. Anything to wake the slaves up and help them along, I decided what I'm going to do is like point out things that that slaves want, but can't see how to ever achieve it. I'm going to point those things out. What's up, El Marshall? What's up? I'm set apart. I'm on my way from being a slave. All right. Congratulations. And if you even talk like that, I'm a set apart, that means you are a conscious slave, because first of all, you're a slave. Second of all, you're doing something about it to get from from staying a slave. Now you are aware of it. So that's why it's called being a conscious slave, right? Well, again, Nick, on the bigger scheme of things, the majority must be slaves. Okay. None of this would work if slaves were not there. My life is easy. My life is problem free because of slaves, as far as finances go, right? It's if they were not there, my life would not be cheap. It would not be easy. What's up, Steven? What's going on? Steven been going through all the archives, man. He has just been binge watching my stuff. I'll be like, damn, Steven finds something that I watch myself. I'm like, wow. You know what I'll do? I'll listen to myself from a 2-year-old video, and then it will tell me what I knew and what I didn't know at that time that I made that video, right? It tells me, it's like, oh, okay, that's why I said it that way. Yeah, I didn't know this way to actually say it. And it's pretty cool. Yes, the chains are invisible. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They're invisible. And slaves put them on themselves. Invisible chains that reach around the world, because it doesn't matter where you go. Your debt's always going to follow you. I don't care if you go to another country. Like slaves believe, check this out. Slaves believe that since they messed up in finances here, they think they're going to go to another country and do something different. No, they're not. They're going to go over there and do the exact same thing. They're slaves. It doesn't matter, because currency is not even real in any form. Gold, silver, dollars, cryptocurrency, none of that exists for slaves. It's all a big mathematical illusion, but they don't even know that, right? So it doesn't matter if they ran to another country. They're going to do the exact same thing. Period. What's up, Gabriel? What's up, Andre? All right. For those of you that are new, my name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them financially see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is a place where everybody lives that believes in financing everything that goes down in value and just cannot figure out Why they're living paycheck to paycheck. They just can't figure it out. They're like, man, it can't be this car. It can't be this house. It can't be these credit cards. It got to be something else. And then that's when the vultures outside, the vultures inside the debt matrix just take them over. They don't even know, but they're slaves. You really done wrong. But anyway, I lived there for the first 40 years of my life until I woke up, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, take the math that you learned in grade school, LJ. And I said, okay, Dave. Dave said, apply it to your finances and you always win with money. I said, okay, let me try it. And I did it. Now I'm free. What I've done, I learned my base from Dave Ramsey and I've enhanced upon that, right? I point out things that don't make mathematical sense. So slaves can wake up and see them, right? So I point out the glitches in the debt matrix, and glitches in the debt matrix are things that don't make mathematical sense, but yet slaves continue to do them, right? You'll finance a house for 30 years and think you're a homeowner. First, like there's two problems in there. First of all, slaves believe it actually takes 30 years to pay off one house. They really believe that, right? And then second of all, they didn't have the money for the house, so they financed it. And once they finance it, they believe they're a homeowner and they believe they own the equity in the house that they don't even own. See what I'm saying? None of that makes any mathematical sense whatsoever. But all you got to do is believe the math and then you're free. You know, I make slaves go, yeah, why am I saying that? Why do I think the only way I can get a car is finance it? I make them wake up. And then they start questioning, and then you become free. Okay. All right. But I don't want anybody to think I'm talking anything negative about the system. The system is just there. All right. The system doesn't do anything to anybody. It's just in place and you must follow it. Okay. The system favors those who trust mathematics and it doesn't favor people who don't. That's it. There's nothing more fancier than that. That's it. So I point these things out and wake people up. I even got the formula. If you ever want to cross over from to get out of the debt matrix, this is all you got to do. Add up all your savings, add up all your debt, and then go save. Yes, including student loans, mortgages, credit cards, the bills that you think are gonna fall off your credit in 7 years, and all that stupid nonsense. All of it. Then I want you to go savings minus debt equals how much money you have in real life. Now, here is the bridge. Here is the glitch. Okay. This is all you have to do at this point. Now all you got to do is believe your own math. You got to believe the math that you see in your face. That's it. You got to look at that math and say, wow, that's a large negative number. That means I have absolutely no money. Exactly. Or you can look at it and say, if you do the opposite and say, well, I don't believe it. Everybody else around me is doing the same thing I'm doing. So it must be right. That's where you're going to stay in the debt matrix right there. The glitch is that you don't trust mathematics. All right. And here's another thing, you slaves, you guys don't know. You all have a pattern. You know what your pattern is? You don't trust math and you don't know you don't trust math. That's the pattern, right? So this is how people that understand money, this is how we see you. If you truly believe you own a house with a 30-year mortgage, you obviously don't trust math because that's not true. All you got to do is do the math and clearly see that is not true. All you got to do is say your mortgage payment minus your mortgage balance equals how much you're in debt to that house. Mortgage payment minus mortgage balance equals your equity. Okay, that equals your equity. And then you're going to look at it and say, wait a minute, that's a large negative number. Now, are you going to believe it or you're not? If you choose to not believe that, you will be in the debt matrix until you're dead. But at the same time, I know this sounds harsh, but we need you to believe you are homeowners when you have mortgages. That's important. The housing market would not exist if not for slaves. It would not exist. The whole economy would not exist if it were not for slaves. So we need them. We need you. Now, here's another thing I wanted to that kind of popped in my head to kind of give you guys an understanding of how it works. Okay? Once you get out of the debt matrix, you realize time is the most valuable thing on earth. Time. What is the one guaranteed thing that's going to happen in your life? You're going to die. There's no doubt, there's no mistaken, there's no maybe, if, that. It doesn't and you know you're going to die. Period. So it's got to be time. Now, anything like so when you start dealing with anything in the financial system, and there's a part of the system that you can go to prison, hence take away time in your life, that should be an indicator to say, hey, wait a minute. This particular thing is so important that if I break it, that means they're going to take the time away in my life. That must mean it must be very, very important. All you got to do is take a step back and say, why is that so important? Once you get out of the debt matrix, you will clearly see why that's important. Everyone must participate for it before any of this can. None of this will work if we were all not forced to participate. It would not work. Period. That's why you can go to prison. That's why you go to prison for tax evasion, because all must participate or everybody loses. That's important. We can't have that. No. Can't have any of that. None of that. That cannot happen. Once you get out of debt matrix, you say to yourself, oh shit, that's why you can go to prison for tax evasion. I get it now. I get it. Oh, okay. Once you get out of the matrix, you will clearly see there is no reason to lie, cheat, and hide money and cheat on your taxes and make money without telling, all that stupid nonsense. You don't have to do any of that. No, you don't. You don't. Just follow the rules and you'll see. Now today is about you guys, right? I want you guys to ask me questions to help you become free. These questions, when I open up Q&A Sundays, I'd give it to you for free, because I don't do it for free no more. Those days are done. People take advantage of free, especially the type of information I'm sharing. It's really worth infinite money, infinity money, because this knowledge will change your life forever. Forever. You'll never be the same again, ever. You will walk around in this financial economy and nobody will be able to fuck with you. Nobody. Nobody. Nobody will be able to financially fool you. Nobody. And they will have not a clue of how you know. No, they can't see us. People that understand money, truly understand money, aka believe in mathematics, understand that math and money are one. Those of us that know that, we're walking around everywhere. You can't see us, but we can clearly see you. In any business you're in, it doesn't matter what you're doing for a living, where you live, what kind of job you have. None of that shit means nothing. I'm telling you, it means nothing. We know that. So anything now, anything now, according to whatever rules of society, if there's something that says, hey, if you do this, this will take away the time in your life, you got to take a step back and say, whoa, why is that? There's a reason. You got to get out of debt to see it, though. You can't see it while you're in debt. You have no idea. You have no idea it even exists. Shout out to Nick for the $4.99 super chat. Become an alien and get free. Become an alien. See, you guys don't really get, and you probably wouldn't even believe me when I say it, but awareness, you can see it in people. You can see awareness in people. And it doesn't matter your race, color, where you live, how you grew up, poor, rich, it doesn't matter. You can see awareness in people. I don't know how to describe it, but awareness, it cannot be detected by your human senses. It's just there. And so when I see another person and I see awareness, I'll say, you know what I'll say to them? Hey, man, I'm an alien. They'll know exactly what I'm talking about because people don't normally say that to each other. Do people just walk up to other people and say, hey, man, I'm an alien? No, people don't say that. People that understand do. People that understand do. If you say that to a person that understands what's going on, they'll say, oh, okay. That means you know. And then whatever piece of the puzzle they know, they share it with you and vice versa. That's how it works. Going through some of these it all starts at age 4. Gabriel says, James be free. D'Lo Styles, what's up, D'Lo Styles? What's going on? The video reviews are awesome, man. There's a bunch of teachable moments. I'm set apart says, I'm so glad I didn't finance that car last year. Would have been in bondage for 5 years. You sure would have. All slaves think financing car is normal. You know what slaves don't know what they're doing? As soon as they finance a car for 5 years, they just added a chain to themselves, to their job, and to the bank. It's like a threesome for the next 5 years. And they don't even know it. Slaves will drive around a car believing they got it on sale, even though they financed it for 5 years. Have no idea why they're stuck at their job. Man, I hate this job, but I can't leave. You know why? Because you financed that car out there for 5 years. Slaves have no idea when they drive up with brand new cars to their employer, the place they work, they're just telling their bosses that they're going to at least be there for the next 5 to 6, 7, however long they finance that car. They just told their bosses that they're going to be there that long. Sure did. Without even knowing it. Come driving in, showing off, oh, look at my new car, this and that, while the boss is looking down through the window and saying, yeah, I got that cat. That slave's here for the next at least 6 years. Because know how I know this? Because like, for example, think about it this way, and this is just my opinion, okay? This is not fact. More jobs are asking to see people's credit reports, right? Slaves don't even question it. They just want the job. Hey, you want to check my credit report? Yeah, that's part of the hiring process. Okay, whatever. Then they get access to their credit reports. They can see how much debt they're in, right? And so if this person gets a raise, but they drive up with a brand new car, they know their credit report. They know how much debt they're in. And guess what else they know? They know if that person financed that car or not and how long they did it. Why? Because they gave them access to see it. Now, what I just said, I don't know if any of it's true. Okay, that's just strictly my opinion. I'm not saying jobs are doing. I'm just telling you what makes sense to me or what I see. Because when I had those high-paying jobs, they started doing that. That didn't make any sense to me. I used to always go, "Why do they want to see our credit reports at the where we work? That makes no sense." You want to see if I have good credit for it? Didn't they want to see how much debt slaves are in? See how much long see that by looking at their credit report, they can tell whether to place them, how long they're going to be there, what sensitive, why to set them in sensitive areas or not because they're in debt. Steven said, when I listen to your old videos, I always learn something new based on the questions that people ask you and how you break down the answers. Okay. Gabriel says, I really want to know who created this for real. Well, Gabriel, we'll never know that. That what you're asking, Gabriel, the more I learn and know, that's like generations of knowledge. You'll never be able to. You could probably start the learning process of who might have created it all, but you'll never live long enough to know who actually did it. This is generations. This is it's like you know what, when I think about this system, this is what I always think about. This was once a thought in somebody's head. Okay, somebody had this in their brain, say, hey, you know what, if we create this, do this, force the people to do that, make them believe in paper, and make them believe that it's worth something. I mean, that kind of knowledge, man, that's like mind-blowing knowledge. It's like, you got to be so far advanced in thinking to be able to do that. That's beyond belief. So beyond belief, even if you told this story out loud, slaves will have not a clue of what you're talking about. None. Because they're going by in the books they read. They read on the economy, the history, and all that stupid bullshit. It don't mean nothing. It doesn't mean anything. When you guys hear me cuss sometimes, I do apologize because I don't do it. Sometimes it comes out to me because I'm a smart dude, man. I'm a smart dude. And I didn't even see that. Didn't see it. Didn't even see it. And it was right in my face the whole time, just sitting right in my face. I just couldn't figure it out. I was like, man, what? I just can't figure out why I can't get financially ahead. I just don't get it. And it was sitting in my face the whole entire time. You know why I couldn't see it? Because everybody around me was just as blind as me. I'm set apart. $100,000 house, $869 a month is $869 to $300. Woof. Yeah, buddy. All you got to do is do the math and be like, damn, the price of this house right now, I'm gonna be paying triple the price. Yeah, so you really believe you got it on sale? No, you didn't. You don't even own it. You got slaves walking around here. 37% of the housing market, people own their house. Only 37% of them do not have mortgages. That means 63% of the market has mortgages. What's that tell you? What's that tell you? The housing market would not exist if it were not for slaves. So it's so funny. You hear slaves talking about, hey, man, yeah, I'm gonna get this rental property. I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna get I'm gonna do some residual income, because you guys got to listen now. You guys don't really understand what you're hearing when you hear people talk about residual income. You got to remember, you don't know who's saying that to you. Because you got to, you think residual income, the definition of that means different things to different people. What you needed to go is go look up the book definition and see if the book definition matches the residual income talk they're talking about, because they could be in debt. They go finance a house for $300,000 and put a renter in there, and the renters, say like the mortgage is 15, but they're charging the renter $3,000, right? And then they believe that they're making a $1,500 residual income profit. No, they're not. No, they're not. All they have to do is like this. All they got to do is the mortgage payment minus the mortgage balance equals your profit. Now, if you're listening in the background, I want you to really understand this. Take your mortgage payment minus your rental mortgage balance equals your profit. How much profit do you see there? The math that I just gave, the math that I'm telling you is exactly right. It's not wrong. It's no way in any form wrong. It's up to you to believe it or not. But if you don't believe the math I'm just telling you, and you believe you're making a profit, I guess that's just what you believe. L. Johnson says people about to financing a worthless, inanimate object. It's just worthless, absolutely worthless. That tells you if you have somebody that will finance a PS5 and tell people that they financed a PS5, they have absolutely no idea what they're talking about. And this is how you got to look at it and understand it, so you don't get upset at people that do that. They're doing that because they don't know not to do that. If they knew not to do that, they wouldn't do it. How do I know this? Because I wouldn't do it. I'm not doing it because I know better to finance something that goes down in value, especially something that's not even worth the price that they're selling it at. You think they make PS5s for $500 a piece? Hell no, they don't. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't make that thing for $100, if not less than that. But if you can get slaves to believe a PS5 is worth $500 and willing to finance it on top of that, hey man, make your money, PlayStation. You guys, when you guys get out of the debt matrix, those are you conscious slaves that are working hard at it. When you get on this side, you got to pay attention to what the big boys are doing right now. You don't got to pay no marketing team. All you got to do is just watch TV. Put the commercials on mute, and you'll see how the big boys are doing it. The ones that been up on TV, they spending millions on marketing. All you gotta do is put it on mute. You could see exactly what they're doing. What are they doing to sell to you? I've always knew something was wrong, but I was the only one around my circle who knew. Exactly, Gabriel. I know. Welcome back, Walter. Appreciate you, man. With government jobs, if you owe debt, you could be made a slave to the country's adversaries. Debt is just bad. Debt is just bad. Oh, let me check that, James. I appreciate you, man. Shout out to James Sandman for the Cash App donation. Thank you, thank you. Shout out to Xavier for the Cash App donation. Thank you, sirs. Much appreciated, man. I'm here to change lives, man. Here to change lives, for sure. Andre's right. Fooled by mortgage deduction. Slaves are happy to get a deduction on something that they don't even have to have. They don't even have to have it. You don't even need to have a mortgage to get a deduction. Slaves are paying property taxes on property they don't even own. They don't even own it, and they're paying property taxes. Don't even know it. Hey, I can write off the interest. Damn, you slaves, you guys have and be happy. Oh man, yeah, I could write off the interest on my mortgage loan. Yeah, you're happy about writing off something that you don't even have to have in the first place. Slaves don't even know what they're saying. They be saying that shit out loud. What's up, arms dealer? NC Biggs, what's going on? Kevin Jones. What's good, Nicer? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency are going to build a generation of slaves already doing it. See, I want you guys to see something, okay? Especially those of you guys that know. See how they just throw something out there and just make the shit up, and slaves just believe it. Oh man, that's got to be it. That's got to be the next get rich thing that's going to take care of all my problems, man. And the government doesn't know about it, and the IRS is scared of it. All this stupid nonsense. None of it. No, only slaves believe that if you can get a slave, I mean, think about it. The money, the physical money in their pockets does not exist in any denominations. It's not even there. They don't even know that. Can you imagine what you can do to slaves with money that you don't even have to show them? Nothing to say, hey, here, hold this. This is a cryptocurrency coin. Here, hold it. They'll never be able to do that, ever. And you make them believe it's worth whatever, that these numbers going up and down, man, you got you a masterpiece. Check and mate. And then when they do all this cryptocurrency shit, and then they go and convert it back into to money, guess what? You owe taxes, baby. You can pretend all you want, like you didn't know, or you thought they couldn't find it, or whatever. None of that matters. You got the money to pay the taxes. Oh yeah, now you're a slave to the IRS. That's the one slavery you don't want, is slaves to the IRS. They got full power to do everything. Don't you ever wonder why that is? Because you must participate, slaves. It would not work if the tax system was not in place and you were forced to pay it, because you already think, slaves already think taxes are the things you keeping you down. Of course you're going to try to cheat on the taxes, or blame taxes. No, it's your own fault. And see, slaves, you guys don't even know that. You already know. They already know you hate taxes. Okay, so they know you're going to cheat on. They get practice every single day from slaves trying to cheat the tax system. I mean, it's like you guys say the same answers, the same reasons why. You guys are the only ones that don't know you say the same things over and over and over again. You guys don't know you say that, because all of you, the majority of you, think you're the only ones doing it. I'm gonna tell you, slaves, once again, you have a pattern. You don't trust mathematics, and you don't even know you don't trust mathematics. That's your pattern. If stimulus don't come, it's going to be an eviction crisis. Sure is. But what's so funny is that they talk about these evictions, and like, hey, everybody's going to get kicked out. What do you think is going to happen to those people that over leverage themselves in rental properties when they ain't getting no rent? They lose too. Slaves can't see the bigger process. The borders being cleared. People faking renting places that they can't afford, and people renting to the other people that they're, just because they're a landlord don't mean they got money. They just over leverage themselves too. They lose too. All of that stuff you guys are seeing, that if it wasn't for you guys doing that type of shit, the housing market wouldn't exist. There's probably no way I would finance a PS. There's absolutely no way I would finance a PS5. PS5 in the new Madden game, that might something be different. Shout out to Antoine. What's up, family? $4.99 super chat. Thank you. Kevin Jones, people finance groceries. Oh yeah. Gabriel says, listening to LJ is like detoxing myself to society. You know what's funny, Gabriel, though? I'm coming more and more out on the side that we know exists. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just here now, man. This is all I'm gonna really talk about. It doesn't matter how you feel about it. I don't really care. I don't listen to slaves. You guys, when you come over here, you guys don't really understand that when slaves talk about money, we don't listen to you. You don't even know what you're saying. We just tolerate you because you're important. It's not our jobs to convince you to trust mathematics. That's not our job. That's a choice. You're choosing not to trust mathematics. And the majority of don't even know that you don't trust mathematics. Like financial scams and stuff like that. You know who they're targeting? Slaves. You guys, slaves have no idea. Financial scams make they make no mathematical sense at all. But you don't know that because you're slaves, and you slaves run things on their feelings and how they feel, and maybe this, maybe that, and then you guys involve your feelings, and when it doesn't make mathematical sense, and then you pretend it does. That's it. Once you get out of debt, you will understand that time is the most valuable thing on earth. Nothing will trump the time in your life? Nothing. My number one goal is to own the time of my life. That's my only goal. Own 100% of the time of my life. 100%. That's my goal. Now, when I look at the system, I'm just like, hey, you look at these things that can, if you try to cheat and lie and it takes away some time in your life, that means it's serious. Because once you understand and fully understand this, you will look at everything like that. How much, if I did that, would that take away the time of my life? How long or how much? It wouldn't even matter how much. But if you say, if the answer is yes, there's a reason what, then you can say either I'm not going to do that, or why is that? Okay, why if I do that, it'll take away the time of my life, right? That's how you got to look at it. There's a reason. Any questions? All right, I keep posting this link. You guys can jump on there. Hope we get somebody new. It'd be nice because I see more and more of you guys in the background. Oh, Young Grump, man! Shout out to Young Grump for the Cash App donation. Cash App donation. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Appreciate you. What's up, DV?
What's going on, LJ? I just wanted to ask you a question, and it's probably pertaining to this month. I was wondering if you're going to discuss the behaviors of people this month, because this month is this month and next month is pretty big when it comes to Thanksgiving. People are going to be financing their Thanksgiving. People are going to be financing their Black Friday purchases, and then their Christmas. People probably financed a lot of stuff on Halloween. I saw a lot of stuff, more than I normally see on Halloween. So I just was curious your thoughts on all those things, and what you think, how you think that's going to play out this year, since everything's so bad, but people are still buying, like they're going out of style. So
that's a good question, man. And I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking about that today. This is what I say, and this is for the slaves. I want you guys to listen to this closely, okay? Stay off of social media, because things right now are very, very financially bad for a lot of people. But if you get on social media, you would swear that nobody on social media is having any problems. Everybody's going on vacations. They're enjoying dinners, all this stuff that looks like. And then when you look at that and you feel like you're you're feeling bad inside. I must have, you feel like, oh, I must have been doing something wrong, because look at those guys. They're living life like nothing's happening to them. Those are lies. Those are tricks. Nobody's gonna post the bad times on their social media timeline. That's never gonna happen. They're gonna keep that smile and pretend. So if you seeing all this and then you trying to be like them and you end up going financing, oh, look at, they're having fun on Halloween. They're at the pumpkin patch and all this stupid nonsense. If you believe, and everybody's smiling and acting as if nothing's going on, and then all of a sudden you get up and go finance and start charging the same thing, you're going to fall into that trap. They're going to do the same thing on Thanksgiving, and then they're most definitely going to do the same thing on Christmas. Everybody's pretending like this economy, the worst economy, this worst economy this century, they're doing okay. But those are tricks. When these holidays come up and somebody say, hey man, you gonna buy Christmas gifts for so-and-so? You say no. They say, why not? You say, because I have no money. And you say it clearly.
yeah, me and my son have already had a talk. Like, he's worked it out where he's picked out like two 2 gifts equaling up to about, I think, 20 to $40. And I was like, that's reasonable. I think I can manage that. But, I'm not going crazy this year. I got to focus on paying off the rest of this debt. And that's basically what I've been working on. So I find it amazing that people are out here. I mean, we didn't do no kind of Halloween, and I'm really not big on the holidays anyway. So a lot of people are going crazy out here. Like every one of my friends, they bought special outfits for people to wear that they can't even go out and do anything in. It's boggles my mind. I'm like, it's crazy.
You know what? You know what though, DV? Because you got to look at the bigger picture. It got to be that way.
But what about the? But what about the? I was trying to break down
all the holidays. All the holidays are that's important. All those holidays are important.
I was trying to break down. I was trying to break that down. Like everybody's talking about Black Friday and how they're gonna get all these deals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wait, so you're gonna go out in the middle of a pandemic and try to get sales with a bunch of people all around you? Y'all gonna try to keep social distancing, and on top of that, you're gonna buy things with money you already don't have for a few things.
See how you're not looking at it? I'm gonna tell you like this. Yes, DV. Yes. They're doing exactly what they're told to be doing. That's what they're doing exactly what they're told to be doing. That's important.
It's amazing. I mean,
it helps. It's more help for you to cross over so you can stop being amazed at what they're doing. You got to say that's what they're doing as told.
Well, I mean, I understand it, but it's just like it's like you do. It's gotten so bad at work now. For me,
for you, that everybody else is normal. Everybody else is
right.
It's just for you. Trust me. I promise you, it's just for you.
Like so now. Okay, all right. So in my environment, a lot of guys look at me, and I don't really have like this. I don't really get involved with this lot of conversations. So now I am the quote unquote snitch. I apparently have to be telling people. Yeah, I'm a snitch now.
Okay, hold up. The snitch for what? What are you telling on? Snitch? What do you mean snitch?
Apparently I'm telling on them, saying that they're not doing the work or anything, forcing the managers to go after them.
Oh my god!
For work that they're not doing.
Oh my god!
And
that is funny.
And the funny thing is, I don't even talk to the manager like that. Matter of fact, people have to tell me, because I'd be like, look, I don't even want to talk to the manager. They'd be like, you need to go in there and get certain things. You need them, so go in there and talk to them. And I'll go in there like every blue moon. But other people go in there all the time, but they're not looked at as weird. I'm looked at as the snitch, and I'm getting talked to in all kinds of weird ways. It's absolutely absurd. I've had to have conversations like, man on man, one on one, bring you to the side type conversations with people, just because it's been so. And one guy even actually told him, he was like, why would Daniel why would he waste his time even snitching on you? Like, I don't. right. Why would he waste his time? Like, I mean, I don't gain anything.
What's he gaining from it?
They think that's how I'm able to.
Oh God, no.
Get my hours and things, and they've said that I had a little accident a while back, and they said that they said that I'm doing all this because I changed, like my whole personality has changed since I got in that accident, and because I work more to get to so that managers leave me alone. I just say, hey, look, I'm gonna do my job. Whatever, just leave me alone. Go bother somebody else. And that's basically how I've.
So now, do you see why I can never have a regular job anymore? Because I would have to deal with stuff like that. I don't want to deal with stuff like that.
It's so annoying.
too
It's
much.
so
I don't
annoying
want to go
because I'm
explain to somebody, hey man, I'm not telling on you. What are you talking? I don't feel like explaining that kind of stuff.
that's what they're telling me right now. I'm the
Wow.
snitch. I'm the snitch. And multiple people have come because apparently I've changed over the last year. I've changed. My whole personality has
Wow.
changed. And I just was like, yeah, guys, you're right. I have changed, but it's not what you think. It's not the same. You got it mixed up. I don't care about that. I told everybody, I was like, I don't care. I
That is
mean, like,
hilarious, man.
so somebody, cause listen what they'll tell me. They'll tell me this stuff. They'll be like, oh, that's messed up. Somebody got fired. I was like, well, he didn't do his job. That's messed up, ain't it? He lost his job. No, it's not. He didn't do his job. You get fired if you don't do your job. You paid to do a job. And
Oh,
so
Daniel's
now,
an asshole. Look at Daniel, an
yeah,
asshole. He doesn't care.
yeah. And I told him, I said, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care if any of you get fired if you're doing stuff you don't care about. Like, I told him that. So ever since I said that, I have been now labeled the snitch. I am the
Oh
snitch.
God. Oh yeah.
I
You can't talk like that. Everybody's gonna see. They're gonna see. You know what you're doing, Daniel? You're exposing yourself. I wouldn't do what you're doing. I'm telling you that. Hey, check this out. I would be pretending I'm part of them. I'd be like, oh yeah, Daniel's an asshole. Yeah, come on, let's go. I would pull you to the side. And I would be like, hey man, why are you showing yourself, man? Are you crazy?
But it's like, I can't.
You want to eat lunch alone for the rest of your life?
Yes, I'm okay.
For the rest of the time
I'm okay. Here. I'm okay with that. Like working, I'm okay. Look, matter of fact, I said this. I said, look, y'all can stay away from me as long, because some people understand where I'm coming from, so they don't.
Right.
Those people can work with me, but the people that don't understand where I'm coming from or don't know me, they just stay over there. I don't need you. You don't need me. We don't need to work together.
Okay, tell me this, man. Why are you showing yourself? I don't get it. Why are you doing that to yourself?
It's not really that I'm showing. It's like people ask me, like, they'll ask me questions like when a dude got fired. A dude got fired a couple weeks ago.
You know what I would have said? I would say, "Oh man, that's messed up." That's what I would have said.
But like everybody knew that he should have been fired a long time ago. It's not like
that don't count. You don't want to, right? You got to pretend like it's still messed up, though. You got to pretend. If you don't want to eat lunch alone, you got to pretend.
But I'm okay with eating lunch. I'm okay with eating lunch alone, man. I just don't care, like, because I don't think like them anymore. So it's like I mean, it was just like another conversation I had this week. I had this yesterday. And I don't mean to take you away from your thing, but we're talking about the cell phone issue where they were going to 5G, right?
Yeah.
And I said, they're going to go to 5G. It makes sense because they can force people to pay for new phones. And I was kind of talking like you, but you know, I lost where I was at. I forgot who I was talking to. One guy understood, one guy didn't. Okay, so I was explaining. I was like, they're going to 5G because they're going to push people into getting into these new phones. They'll probably push out 3G, maybe even 4G to force people to get these new phones. They can't do that. They'll lose all these customers. I said they've already done it before with 2G. Yeah. All these 2G people had all these 2G phones and the flip phones and they kicked them out and said you got to buy a new phone if you want to be on our service.
Oh, that's normal. Yeah, that's normal practice.
I said, new technology comes out. He says, well, I'm doing really well with my 4G, 3G phone. I said, yeah, for right now, till they start toggling it down. They can't do that. They don't. I'm like, I said, a corporation can't do what they want with their with their technology. I was like,
right,
man, they do what they want to do.
They do. You're slaves. You don't count. They're gonna do what they tell them to do. They're slaves.
And then I told him, then it was like, he was like, they can't do that. It's like, it's no different than when before everybody thought it was unbelievable to finance a phone. And now we're all financing phones. What are you talking about? So he's like, what are you talking about? They've always made us finance phones.
Oh God, they always made us. You say, who's they? Who made you? Who made you finance it? Who's they? Tell me. Take me to they right now. I want to see them.
So it's just because he was telling me, it's like I was like, no, phones were affordable. People could pay for phones back in the day. You could get a $200 phone with no problem. Now you got it's $1,200 if you wanna buy one from the store.
That's
You
fucking
go.
crazy,
So,
man.
so I said
And they
why?
financing that shit too. They finance $1,200 phones. Oh
Yeah.
God.
Oh well, no, they've gone up. So now they're about
Oh,
1,500.
oh my
14, 15.
God.
There'll be $2,000 before by 2000, probably
Can you
2025.
imagine if somebody comes in and finances a whole family worth like 5 phones for the
Oh, that
whole family?
happens. Remember who you're talking to. Remember, I
Oh,
was
that's right.
financed.
Hey, that's right. You
I was.
did. That's crazy.
I didn't do it. But somebody did it on my plan. So it's basically the same thing.
That's
So
crazy. Like I think about that now. There is no way you would ever let that happen again, ever.
oh no. I wouldn't even. One guy, he called me up and said, "Yeah, I got." He's a real cool guy, pays his bills on time. He said, "Yeah, man, I wish I had that AT&T plan." I said, "Man, yeah, I know, man. I know how that is." So I won't give him mine. Like we're not doing that. So,
What's
but
up, Nicer? What's going on? Nicer, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
What's going on?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Doing good, Nicer.
I got caught up in Biggs' story for a second.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, I'm out. I'm an outsider so bad. I'm the snitch, man.
That's funny. You the snitch now. Well, see, that's why I could not go back to the 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, hearing people talk about hump day, Wednesday. Oh my God, Monday, then Sunday, all that talk, and then you talk about hey, what'd you do this weekend? The same old talk. Hey, what'd you guys do this weekend? Oh, we did this and that and did the same old repetitive shit and wait for Friday. That's it. And talk all the gossip and stuff. No, thank you.
They always talk about. They be like, man. One dude came up to me and said, and he said, this is hump day, and I looked at him like, what? Hump day.
Hump
What do you
day.
mean? He's like, this is Wednesday. I was like, maybe for you. I mean,
and so crazy, man. Once you get out of that 40-hour work week, Saturday and Sunday are not special. They're just days of the week. That's it. They're not special. They're only special when you've been trained that Monday through Friday are the work week days and Saturday and Sunday are weekends.
Yeah, I just was curious. Like, I mean, this whole thing. I mean, I know you're gonna be hitting it a few more times before we get there, but
yeah.
I mean, we got a bunch of major holidays coming up, and we didn't even talk about Halloween, and I seen more decorations this year than I've seen in a very long time.
In a pandemic, see how people are pretending? There's a lot of people pretending.
Right. There's people that have multiple outfits. Like they will wear an outfit a day, every day to work this whole last week.
Are you a different outfit?
Yeah, different outfit all week.
Oh my God. They charging it all too. Something that they don't even need. They're only gonna wear on one day. That they
wear that outfit
one
that day.
Wow.
Yeah, they wear that outfit that one day, then come and wear another outfit the next day, then come and wear. They would show. I would literally watch somebody do it every day on their feed. Like they were wearing one every day.
Absolutely crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
I got a question for Biggs. Are you once you're free and clear, are you going to do what LJ did and take a whole year off of work?
Absolutely not. LJ is a anomaly. I have very little children that rely on me, and in some ways, mathematically, I look at myself as indebted to them until they're grown. So I cannot do what LJ's done until I am either in a great financial situation or your
route is going to be different. Okay. It's not going to be your journey is not going to be the same as mine, but I guarantee you you won't be able to take that silly nonsense that's going. You're just getting a taste of it right now, and you're not even, and you're only there because you know what you got to finish, right? But once you're free, and you still dealing with that, you're gonna do something. I promise you, you're not gonna be able to take it.
I really don't like. I don't like my job. There's no question about that. It pays very well but the drawbacks. Just to throw out another one. My manager actually tried to yell at me on the phone one day, and I said, "Who are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to? Are you talking to me? Like, you're not talking to me." Like,
this was recent.
That was recent.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I told him, "You're not talking to me," and then I had a conversation. He was like, "Man, I'm stressed because I'm working during my vacation time," and I said, "I understand, but you're not gonna talk to me like that."
Nice.
I'm sorry.
See,
I'm sorry. We're not gonna have that conversation. He has to get off the phone with me if he feels like he's getting angry now, because there's no way he's gonna talk to me any kind of way. I just can't put up with it. I mean, I will not be disrespected at work.
Right. See, because you're not in debt. Because if you were in debt, you probably would have responded very differently. You probably would have accepted him yelling at you.
I'm still a debt slave. I'm not gonna front.
But you're a conscious slave. That's the difference. You're not an unconscious slave. You're a conscious slave.
Yeah. So, but I get what you're saying, and I just can't put up with it. So, that had to be handled.
You're gonna find something. You're gonna find another way, because your route's different. Because you do got young children. Sure, your route is very different than your journey is very different than mine. So whatever that's gonna be, it's gonna be.
Right, and I mean, hopefully, I can achieve that goal. I do appreciate everything you've done, though, as far as at least getting me to this point. I've been very quiet usually on your stuff nowadays, because I really don't have a lot of questions right now. I've kind of got a purpose, and that's kind of honing in on that purpose.
That's how it's
right
supposed
now.
to be, man. That's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get whatever it is you need to get from me, and because you'll automatically know when you've, like, I used to, before, when I first found Dave Ramsey, I used to binge watch all of his stuff, just used to do that, right? And then one day I had enough, because I've learned all of what I was going to learn from him, and then I just moved on. So it's the same thing.
Yeah, I only come on here, and I mean, every now and then, just to kind of, give back. I know a lot of people on here probably, thinking that either they can't do it, or they listening to you, and you might go in on these people, but the overall focus is for you to make them feel like they need to change their life, and this is a lifestyle change. And I never stop saying that about you.
Right.
You changing people's lives as a lifestyle choice. This is and
it's a whole new language. We're speaking a whole new language, and it's English.
Yeah.
And it's still English, but it's a whole different language. But
the funny thing I like about your language, though, is I mean, math is math, no matter what spectrum you put it on. So I love that about the situation. You can help a lot of people in a lot of different places that may not speak English, but speak something else, but understand math. Math is
math crosses all language barriers. Math crosses all language barriers. That's what I love about it. No matter. Like, and if you decide, you got to remember, if you decide to leave and live in the Philippines, you would just go over there and learn the Philippine economic system, apply your math, and you'll be successful over there too. It's the same thing.
I saw something that one of the people said. He said, I'm set apart. He made a point. He made a statement.
About what?
Yeah, I mean, he said you don't need a boss if you're really free. You become your own boss, and I can understand that statement. I mean, it just depends on what choice you're gonna make once you become debt free. I think I think a lot of people should listen to Andre on that after debt thing as well, because he definitely talks a lot about the traps and the pitfalls. And you, LJ, you definitely have your own group that talks about a lot of that as well. And I think if people really don't know, there's a lot of things that a lot of mistakes. I mean, we literally had somebody on this channel that said they were debt free and then told you that they were going to finance a car.
Right.
I mean, so,
Right.
I mean,
that don't make sense.
I mean, it does if if they didn't plan, like, I mean, you think about it, LJ, you gave yourself a year after you got out of debt.
Right.
To save and plan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
How many people actually plan after they get out of debt to do the things that you're doing? That's the stuff I'm talking about. Like, there's stuff that you did afterwards to prepare yourself to live a better life.
Well, the thing is this, and I like the way you say it, but the thing is this: when you get out of debt, your money stacks so fast, you're not really thinking about saving the way you used to think about saving. Because
I agree with that, but if they do it too quickly, or they end their job too quickly, they won't have anything.
I mean, once you get out of debt, you'll know. Because I didn't. Don't get me wrong. I did not plan to not work for a year. That wasn't my plan.
Right.
Okay? That was like the universe forcing me to. Because I want everybody to understand it. I tell you, it took me a year to get out of the 40-hour work week, but I didn't quit my job and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be out of work for a year." It wasn't like that, right?
Right.
I mean, during that year, it was like I was coming off of heroin. What
Right.
about my job, man? What about my experience? What about all the school I went to? I started applying. Every now and then I would apply for a job because I got too nervous. But every job I applied for, I got denied. Never got it. And then it wasn't until I finally accepted, I say, you know what? Maybe it's supposed to be this way, because I've never got denied for a job ever, right? But this year I did. And you know what it was for? So I can withdraw myself from the 40-hour work week. I had to come off of it like drugs.
I think you working that year before made it a lot easier for you to be able to transition into that, so that you could do whatever you want. I think you did a very good job. Even if you didn't foresee yourself quitting, you kind of planned. You actually had money saved.
True.
And had plan and so you weren't forced to go back into the work week, because you were living very low on your means, on the money you were making. True. You had already lowered your income and you never increased it even after you got out of debt. So you were so stable that when you said you were ready to quit, I mean, that was easy. That was easy for you. That was an easy choice for you. But everybody's got a different path, of course.
Everybody
but
got their
I think
own path, yeah, for sure.
I think you did a great job preparing yourself, even though you didn't know you were preparing yourself. Is what
you know what? This is what I say to you, man. Make this your only goal. Do whatever it takes to own 100% of the time in your life. Make that your only goal.
That's a very important goal. That's my
only goal. That's my only goal, to own 100%. Now you got to think back right now. Who owns the majority of the time in your life right now? Who owns it?
It's my company that I work for.
Exactly. Seeing that right there, that's a problem.
Yeah, they own it. I trade time for money right now. There's no question.
Right now I just want to point that out so you can see it for what it is. The time in your life, which should be yours, by the way, should be yours, but it's not.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's the most important thing. And you don't own the majority of it. You don't even own it. That's a problem.
Yeah. At least over well over half.
Yes.
Well over half.
Yeah.
Well over half. I work. And you know that because before I was working 70 hours a week.
Ooh, geez.
You remember I was working 70,
I do. I remember you were working a
hours.
lot back then, man.
Yeah, I was working a lot. 70, almost some weeks I might have hit 80 hours a week.
Crazy.
And you're talking that with coupling with no, I was definitely working more than 80 because I was working 20 at the other job, and then I was working like somewhere between 50 and 70.
Wow, that's
the
crazy,
other jobs.
man.
Yeah.
That's
so
crazy.
I mean, when I tell people, I say, you're right. I was definitely doing. I mean, and right now I'm doing it for a different reason, but
yeah,
I don't.
You're conscious of it, though. See.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm
See,
doing it for a different reason.
that's the now you're looking at this job. Oh, it's to earn money so I can pay this debts off. It's not, you're not saying, oh, I got this job so I can finance this new house over here that I can. No, see the difference?
Right. And
That's
I don't even, I'm hesitant. I'm not even going to play with you. I'm very hesitant in
right.
finance. I got to talk to Andre and Cosmic more before
Right.
I make any decisions on houses. I'm not doing that anytime. And then, because I want to be able to plan this out very well, where I do this better than I've done it. And I don't want to be like everybody else on this thing, you know.
Buying a house is planned. I mean, that's like, when you think about it now, the way we think about money, if you want to buy a house, that plan should be in your head like 10 years before you actually buy a house.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I'd say at least a solid 3. So you have the solid, stable amount of money that you have saved up. Because I mean, some people can save up. You can think about it. Some people can actually save up. I mean, depending on how much they make.
I'm saying the whole picture. I'm saying stay out of debt. No credit cards. You know what I'm saying? That kind of planning, the planning that they can't see. When I talk to you, I'm only talking about the stuff that slaves can't see.
Right. Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. I really honestly think that I think a lot of these guys, I hope that a lot of these people actually listen to you. I mean, they really take it serious, because it's a hard process, because even after filing Chapter 7, I heard one guy lost his job after filing Chapter 7, which I mean, some companies probably hate that they would file Chapter 7. I don't know if you saw that one message, but
no, somebody lost their job because they filed. It counts on what type of job he had, though.
Yeah, there was a job. There was somebody that posted on in your chat a little while ago that they lost their job filing Chapter 7 right after they filed Chapter 7. But I would I would have to figure out what type of job that person had. Right. But I would still say that even with all that, like, you're probably even better off now, because you're guaranteed to get it. Now that you lost your job, like you were telling me, you were like, if they let people off, they laid people off out here, you're guaranteed to get Chapter 7. You're free.
Yeah,
so I just hope people take you very seriously. You've been very helpful to me, and Nicer, you've been very supportive. You're like the nurturer of the group. We need you. So I really appreciate both of you.
And
both
vice
of you guys,
versa, man. Vice versa, for real.
Yeah, I tell you, you've really helped me, like, because there's not a lot of people I can say actually changed my life, where I actually woke up and actually was able to fix something. I don't think I would have even been able to meet people like Cosmic or Andre, or even like yourself, if you hadn't have even posted anything. So I really appreciate that.
If I had, and that's and what it is, it's like the reason why SMD is not bigger than what it is. They don't know I exist yet. That's all. That's all it is. People just don't know I exist yet. That's the only thing that's happening.
They don't know you exist, and people aren't sick and tired of the situation they're in yet. Some people haven't figured out that that's not the way. I mean, LJ, you're absolutely right. When you say, try to tell your friends, and they say, no, I'm not listening to you. That actually happens to me on a regular basis. I haven't been able to grab one person to be as it's hard, as convinced and as motivated to this situation as I have been.
Right. It's hard. It's hard.
Nobody wants.
It's hard because you care about your friends, man. But you got to accept that you cannot help them, because it doesn't matter if they're your friends. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's hard, man.
I didn't mean to take over your chat, though.
About it. Yeah, no, man, this is good talk. I like the talks, man. I like bouncing back and forth in our language and then regular slave language. You know what I'm saying?
It's so horrible, though. I don't like it. I don't like seeing people suffer out here. It's so horrible.
Well, once you accept it, you see how I speak about it? It doesn't matter, because this is what you don't understand. They don't know what I'm saying when I say that. So you think they can understand what I'm saying when hey, you're not a homeowner if you have a mortgage. They can't hear me.
I mean, can you imagine like people talking to like you, Nicer, Hyphy, Cosmic Wisdom, Andre, um, Davis, Cecile. I can't imagine Gabriel talking to you.
Youth, yeah.
You know, talking to millennials. I can't imagine these conversations. Like, you think these people would be like, man, like, I mean, Gabriel might be still young, so he hasn't been able to show the gains from doing that. But
Right.
Cosmic Wisdom and Dave Cecile and Andre, they've all shown, and Hyphy, they've all shown Nicer. They've all shown that they can live comfortably, and how you've shown you live comfortably.
Right.
And for people not to see it, it's just it throws me off. Like, I mean, I can't prove it yet. People tell. What was the last statement I think I heard? Well, Daniel, you're not out of debt yet. That's what they said. That's the last thing. That's the last thing I was told. So I was like, okay, well, fair enough.
Well, you got to remember. You got to remember, Daniel. You're trying to tell them something that cannot be detected by any human senses. Okay, you can't say, "Hey, look, this is what debt does to you. Here, hold it. This is what it smells like." You can't tell them. You can't show that. You can't if they can't physically see it or touch it or anything like the human senses, they don't believe it. And so if I purposely, I mean, you guys see me on this channel. I stand out like whatever. I don't care. But when I'm out in public, I'm not going to be talking about this stuff. I'm not going to let them see me. They'll see me. If you want to do that, you can do that. But I'm not going to let them see me. If I was in front of you and you letting them see you, I'll just join them. I'll be like, oh, Daniel, that's messed up, man. You don't care about people. Oh, man. You think you all that. It ain't no big deal to finance a car. I can afford the payment.
I would be sitting there looking at you like, what? What? Y'all need to look him up. Like, y'all need to look him. I'll
be like, look at Daniel's face. Why is he looking at us like that? Oh, he thinks he's better than us. Oh, look how his face looks. Oh, man.
I'm already the snitch, you know.
He's probably the one that told on you, Susie. He probably told on you.
Yeah, I'm telling on people. I'm talking to the managers about what they doing and what they saying, and I was like, and the funniest part about all that was, I was like, if I had told on you, you would have gotten fired. Like, I was like, but I didn't say anything.
Yeah, you can't say nothing, man. That's why I had to leave the work environment, man. I couldn't take it. There's no way I could take it. You come to work, they're talking debt. They're talking, hey, look what I bought. Look, I went here, and they're in debt. I could not take. There was no way I could take that. Oh man, I just refinanced my house and I just bought it. Oh God, never mind.
They always at my job, they talking about sneakers, the car they just bought, the house they just bought, and the clothes they're gonna go out here and buy.
This is the good one. When they used to come to work, hey, yeah, man, I just refinanced my house and paid off my cars. I was like, so you think you borrowed the bank's money to pay off the bank's cars? Oh God, I'd be like, oh God, I want to hear no more. Just stay in your cubicle.
Yeah, it's bad. I
wonder how long you gonna tolerate it. Hey man, I'm gonna sit back with popcorn. I'm gonna see how long you can tolerate it. I'm just waiting until you say, LJ, I quit, man. I got something. I think you're gonna plan out something. Don't get me wrong. I don't think you're just gonna walk in one day and say I quit, but you're gonna put some things into motion to make that shit happen. That's what's gonna happen.
Oh man. Hopefully. I'm like I said, I got little ones, so I focus on them first,
right,
and then me later. But the main thing is, I think you're, like I said, I wouldn't even be able to be at this point. I wouldn't even have a choice right now had I not met you. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people really need to listen to what you're saying. It's very important. you're changing people's lives out here. I always say it every time I talk to you. I always say it. So it's I hope somebody reaches out to you. If our testimonies don't speak, I'm not one of those people that was like had it all figured out before I met LJ. I sounded deprived and lost.
Man, I
defeated.
still remember. I know I don't want to go too deep in it, but I still remember our first phone call, man. You were in a different place, man. You were definitely in a different. You definitely wasn't sounding the way you sound today. You were like, I just don't have the answer, man. And I feel privileged that you decided to trust me, being in the state you were, man. And that really means a lot. That really does. A total stranger, nobody you don't even know, somebody you just saw on YouTube,
Well, I mean, you was very serious about it. Like, I mean, there was no way that I could just ignore it. Like, I was like, man, you know Dave Ramsey's plan, but it's deeper than that. You break it down so that people don't have to figure it out. And that's I'm a simple guy, so it worked for me. And I really think these people can benefit, But anyway, I'm gonna let you get back to it, man. I didn't want to hold you, but I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks for jumping on.
No problem.
All right.
Peace.
I'm set apart. I'm 29. I'm glad I found this info out here before I'm 30. Now I'm getting out of this 30-year mortgage by the end of the year. Check this out. I'm set apart, okay? Because this is what I wish somebody would have told this to me, okay? All right. So number one, 29 going on 30. You probably, oh my God, I'm getting old. That's a lie. That's not true. Okay. You're still a kid. Even though you're turning 30, it doesn't mean you're getting old. Don't fall for that trick. That's trick number one. Don't fall for that. Okay. If I had known this information, what I'm sharing with you today, when I was in my 30s, man, you have no idea. Your whole life is going to change forever. You're going to be the smartest financial dude in the room, no matter where you're at. No matter where you go, you're going to be the smartest financial dude, and they're not even going to know how you're doing it. Not even if you told them. Even if you told them. So congratulations, man. Get out of that. What's up, Mama Max? Not gonna lie, Dave Ramsey helped me out of debt. Screen Learning helped me with investing. Just saying. Yep, Dave Ramsey most definitely helped me out of for sure. For sure. What's up, Screen Learning? How you doing, man? Feels good to have sound advice on social platform, LJ. Thank you, sir. What's up, Steven? What's going on, man?
Not much, man. What's going on?
Nothing much, man. Just on the mic.
Man, I was listening to, and this kind of goes back to, you were talking about financial scams, and then what NC Biggs was talking about the holidays. I got this story to tell you what happened, how these two tie in. About 3 years ago, my company decided to change the payroll scale as far as when we would get paid. So instead of it being like on the 1st and the 15th, they started doing it like every 2 weeks. So when they brought this out like this has happened about 3 years ago. So they brought it out about July. It was sort of like they called all these special meetings because they wanted to prepare people to say, hey, when you get paid, this was in July, and they were like, when you get paid in November, that check is going to be about 30 to 40% lower because it's going to be missing about 13 days, right? So I looked at the calendar. I'm still
listening.
I was like, this is going to be kind of interesting. So every time we got paid, we would get like a company-wide email that would just as a reminder, like, hey, don't forget the pay period, and they told us in the initial meeting, hey, start putting a little bit of money aside every pay period so that when that November paycheck comes, you'll be prepared. And I was like, I was just saying to some of my coworkers, people ain't going to do that. People ain't going to do that. Right. So this was like something I foresaw, maybe because I'm just different. I just foresaw, I was like, this ain't going to work out for a lot of people. So I was having a conversation one day and I said, man, I just realized on that pay period what's about to happen. And they were like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? I said, the pay period that's going to be short is going to be 3 major factors. that is going to be the pay period before Black Friday. It's going to be the pay period when people are going to be shopping for Thanksgiving, and it's going to be the pay period when most people will be paying their mortgage and their rent. And they was like, dang, you saw all that. I was like, man, I'm telling you. And this is to talk about the financial scams. Okay, there was this letter that was basically going around. Well, basically, whenever people were using this like it was a bank account. So basically, this was a letter that if you ever wanted to take out a loan towards your 401k, there was this letter that basically you could fill out the information, and it made it look like you were about to be evicted from your apartment or whatever. Oh, so God. you basically put in the dates, like you missed this month's rent, you missed this month's rent. This was the month that you got notified by your county of the eviction. Like you basically, and now this letter matched what was online with Vanguard. So this was the same letter, but somebody had pulled it and made it so that you could actually edit this Word document, fill in the numbers, and submit it to get this 401k loan for eviction. So people were using this, right? People were using this. It was like, I mean, I'm telling, it was legit.
It at the right times on them.
They was writing. They was people now. What happened was, this was like within my company alone. Like we got like 3 different locations in different states. About 39 people ended up getting fired, because here's what happened. As it got closer to that pay period, people started to panic. And so a lot of people started sending in this letter for these 401k loans. Now, I think, just like any major company, they have probably some type of auditing process to say, hey, we need to make sure when we get these, we follow the paper trail to make sure that these are legit. Well, I think what Vanguard did, I think they noticed that a lot of these letters came in on the same day, because it was one of our locations. People were faxing that letter from the same fax number in the building, and they were sending it the same day. So I'm sure Vanguard probably looked and said, wait a minute, and I'm not going to say our company name, but I'm just saying they probably realized we getting a lot of these requests from this company on the same date. And when you fax a letter, where that fax came from is up at the top letterhead. It shows at the top where the fax came from. So they're probably noticing like, we're getting a lot of requests from this one particular company, and we're getting it from locations, but we got an abundance of requests from this particular building because it's all coming from the same fax number. So after they did their little auditing process, man, it was like 39 people in our company got fired. Not only did they lose their job, one, they didn't get the money. They got fired. And then because, Vanguard is somewhat like, that's like a banking industry. There's probably some type of money laundering or some type of fraudulent banking that they probably ended up getting charged legally. Man, I mean, it was like, and you just kind of know, like in our company, like, you might sit near somebody and then you might go on break and come back and the desk look like ain't nobody been sitting there for months. Your stuff it'd be cleaned up. You're like, what the hell happened to such and such? But I only knew one person from the building that I used to work in, but I just knew from,
what's so crazy though? When I look at the bigger picture, the bigger picture is, and again, this is my opinion. I think they put those things in place for that to happen, because they know people are desperate for money, and they'll start doing things that they normally wouldn't do because they're desperate. And then they'll put something that looks so easy access, that looks like easy access to the money, and then slaves will take it.
Right.
Now,
exactly.
Now they lose the money that they were going to get. Now that maybe they have to forfeit for fraud. Now they forfeit their money to the company. Who knows?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
A whole lot of stuff, different stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
They do slave dirty.
They do slave dirty. And slaves will react. Right?
It's like I remember when I used to work when I was in debt, right? I remember on your W-4, you can check a box that says, I want to be exempt from federal taxes, right? There's a box you can check. And through my whole working career, I used to go, why do they got that box sitting there? Everybody got to pay taxes. You can't just check the box and not pay taxes, right?
Exactly.
I used to always think, what is its purpose? And now I know there's a purpose that you can probably look up on the internet at the IRS website. I'm sure you can read the purpose. But you know what I think the purpose is? I think the purpose, because slaves hate taxes, they're quick to check that box, right? And then they'll forget about them. They'll let it go on for 2 or 3 years, and then come back and knock on the door and say, hey, check this out. You got to pay those taxes. And of course, they're not going to have the taxes. Now the slaves are going to owe more money than had they just paid the taxes in the first place. Penalties, fees, all that stuff, man. They do them dirty.
Yeah, you're right, man. But last week, I wore the T-shirt. My granddaughter had a birthday party at this place that's like Sky Zone, man. It's like crazy. And I'm thinking, man, we're in the middle of a pandemic. All these kids running around here crazy. but so I wore the T-shirt, and it's funny because my ex-wife was there. So me and her, we still have a good talking relationship, because we got 3 kids together. We got 2 grandkids. So, but she was the one that noticed the shirt first. So we're sitting at the table while the other kids were out there running around, and she started asking me about it, and I started just telling her stuff that on the channel, and just kind of explaining. And she was listening. She was very receptive.
Oh wow!
She was very receptive, and I could tell you one of the main things that ended our relationship was debt. You know what I'm saying? But she was very, very, very receptive to what I was saying, because she was kind of, like you say, when you're telling people and they hear something and they get that pause, it's like something is registering because of those pauses.
Yeah. And they don't know they're doing them. They don't know they're doing them. So that's
they don't know they're doing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was very receptive. And then as me and her was talking, my oldest daughter came. She was sitting there with her boyfriend, and they were sitting there just quiet like mice. They was like just soaking it in, right?
Right.
And my daughter was like, man, she was like, Dad gonna be sitting over there a millionaire one day. We ain't gonna even know.
Right. They ain't even gonna know.
They ain't gonna know, because I still just lead the same, very low key, I don't be out there spending a lot of money.
Plus, and plus there's no need to tell a whole bunch of slaves you got money and they don't. That don't even make any sense.
Right. I ain't gonna tell them too much, because they might want to borrow some. Exactly.
Borrow some, slaves like to steal, all that stuff. You don't want to attract all that stupid nonsense to you.
Yeah. So they were very, very receptive, to some of the things I was telling them, and I sent her some video, because she was like, she said, send me some videos. And I always, every time it's funny, because when I be talking to people and I tell them, I'm going to send them a video, it's like 3 videos I always send them that you did. I always send them the one, your explanation of a job. Gotcha. I always send them the one that's called, not the 401k one. It's the one about the credit score. Credit Karma. And then I always send them, I can't remember what that third, but it's like 3 that it's like, not only do you that you break down those topics, but you talk about other stuff like the 401k, don't borrow against it, how you could have those tax savings if you can max it. Because I can tell you, everybody I ever ask them, can you max out your 401k? They holler real fast. You talking about the company match? Like, hell no, I'm not talking about the company match. It's almost like they automatically have that answer saved. Like, oh yeah, I get the company match. No, I'm not talking about the company match. And then I break it down to them, because they don't. Again, I was even talking to the person who, she used to work with me, but she was my realtor. I was even breaking that down to her about how much tax savings you can get if you're able to max it out. But I told her, I said, okay, but one thing you got to remember, if you're in debt, you can't do this. So don't even start thinking about it until you can get out of debt. Correct. And but I was just telling people, I spent like half the day with my sister yesterday because we went to visit my mom, who's in a senior facility. I hadn't seen her since March.
Okay.
Yesterday was the first day that they actually started letting you go visit people who are in senior centers.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And they wheeled her outside in the wheelchair near this gate that had a plexiglass. So we basically had to talk to her through this plexiglass for about 30 minutes. But it was good to see her because, like I said, I just remember the last time I visited her was the last weekend in March before the shutdown happened.
Wow.
And so I was talking to my sister, and she's I'm trying to get her to become conscious. She thinks like this, like
older or younger sister?
She's my youngest sister because I'm the oldest, and then I got a younger brother. Okay. But the only debt she has is her car. She didn't have any debt, and last year she got rear-ended, and it totaled her car. So she ended up having to get a new car. And so right now she doesn't have any student loan debt. She only owns one credit card. She told me she owned two. And I said, what you need to do, that Capital One, pay it off, cut it up, call and close it. I said, you need to do that. I told her, I said, you need to do that as soon as you can. I said, if you want to keep, and I told her, because I've been using my one credit card that I have left, I've been using it like you said, like you do yours. And I explained to her why to use it that way. And I said, look, because she was asking me about buying a house. I say, sis, don't buy no house. I say, where you're at, you're in a better position than you think you are. You only got one debt. Yeah. But she's nervous because the apartment complex that she lives in, every year they keep raising the rent. Right. And she's thinking, man, all these people I know who have houses, they're only paying like $900. Yes. Okay. So. And I told her, I said, don't worry about what other people, because you don't know how they accumulated their house. And also you don't know how much debt they have. Don't
be looking at you like an alien when you talking like that to them now.
I told her, I said, don't pay attention. I said, look, stay where you at. Just be patient. I said, what you need to do is, work the credit card, get your score. If you want to work with your score. And I sent her the one that my Credit Karma, so I didn't want to explain to her why she didn't need to not worry about the credit score. I say I would let her see the credit score, the one with the 400. Right. I would need to let her see the one with the 400, and then the other one that you did where you show yours and 4 other people's different credit scores. I said I'm gonna let those videos do the talking. And I said, just worry about paying down your car as much as you can. When you get out of that, just try to save, because if you can pay off your car, you have no debt. Now you might be able to, maybe you can't get in there with 20%. Maybe you can come up with 10 or 15%, but try to get as close as you can to that 20 so that you can get the best mortgage rate possible. Because again, I told her, I said, when you get ready to get your house and you say, okay, I'm gonna get this 30-year mortgage or this 15-year mortgage, what you're basically telling your company, hey, I'm gonna be working for y'all for the next 15 to 30 years because I just got this house. And I say, are you prepared to tell your company that?
I can only imagine how they were looking at you,
man. Man, I was breaking it down, and she's like, yeah, you got a plan. I said, so don't be in such a rush to get a house, because don't let society dictate that you should have a house because you're this age. Don't let society and the people around you. Because I told her, I said, trust me, had I known 3 years ago what I know now, I would not have gotten my townhome. I would have stayed where I was at, because we lived in the same apartment complex. Matter of fact, we lived next. It was funny because we actually lived next door to each other.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, that was by like accident. But I was just telling her I would still be here, and I would have still been making the money, and I would have been, because I'm in a good financial situation. I still can't quit my job, but I'm in a better financial situation. And had I known things were, had I known that the universe was going to set everything up the way it did, I would have stayed right. I would have been right next door to you still to this day. But, we move on, we learn, we live and we learn, and we move on. And I just told her, I said, don't be impatient. My niece is in college on a full scholarship because of her grades. Wow. I said, you ain't got to worry about no student loan debt. And I told her, I said, look, when Dominique graduates from college next year, I said, look, let her live with you as long as she can until, because she's supposed to be going to grad school, going to law school when she graduates. I said, but when whatever she finished grad school, you just let her live with you till she could pay off her student loan debt, and then release her from the world as a free bird with no debt, with no debt. You know what I'm saying?
Free as a bird.
Yep. I said, don't.
And you know what? And plus, she's gonna have to make sure, like, if she did that, she got to make sure that young woman understands that she's a free bird, because she could be free and not really understand it, and go get in a debt herself. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, look, that ain't gonna even happen, because I be sending her your videos too.
Oh, okay, good, man. Good. How many of those guys, when you send them the videos, how many of those guys come back and say, "Oh, this video was good"? With that video, anybody come back to you?
I will put it to you like this: I have one coworker that, like, consistently, Steven, I listened to those videos you sent me. Can you send me some more? She's very, she's looking. And then there's a girl that used to work with me. She no longer is with the company. I send it to her, and we talk on a regular basis. She does. But I would have to say, out of the 10 people that I've sent videos to, I've probably only got a response from like 3. Like, and I'll give them like about a month. And then I'll say, hey, what did you think about those videos? And now I get no response.
Of course not. Of course. You already got your response, because people that watch them, they're going to come back and say something. You know, they're going to automatically come back and have questions. But the ones that don't come back with nothing, you know, they didn't watch it.
Exactly. Because I said, I don't consume a lot of TV, so it's only a few people on YouTube that I listen to, and that's pretty much my entertainment is listening to your videos. I listen to O'Shea and a couple of other people, but I don't consume a lot of TV, and so when I send someone a video that I listen to and something jumps out at me, I will send them that video. Like, I'll say, oh, my friend Jamal needs to hear it. It's like when you talked about the iPhones and how those phones are set up to start failing at a certain time, because now it's like, you know, it's time to get that new phone. And I'll tell him, hey, Jamal, I need you to listen to this. Fast forward to this point. Because I know that when they see the videos 3 hours long, they're not going to listen. Right.
You got to give them the time. You're right.
I give them the timestamp and say, hey, fast forward to this. I need you to listen to about the first 15 to 20 minutes. Let me know what you think after you hear it. And when he responded, it makes me think he listened, but he didn't hear what he wanted to hear. He tried to make it seem like he didn't understand what you were talking about.
Right. But
you know what I'm saying?
But at the same time, though, you got to remember, they literally don't. See how you said, oh, he was pretending that he didn't hear, but you got to remember, he probably really didn't.
That's true. You're right.
You see what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right about that.
It'll save you frustration. This is for you. So you don't get frustrated, like, you know, you heard what he said, you know, no, he didn't.
Right. Literally. Right. You're right. You're right. But yeah, that's why I say I consume, because one thing I do notice about your videos, like now, you know, like when you're talking to the S&D family, it's certain things that you don't have to repeat. Right. Because we've already kind of discussed that, and we've moved along. Right. But sometimes I go back to some of your old videos, and you'll hit something up like, I ain't heard LJ talk about this in a long time. And that's why I say, when I listen to your videos, I always learn something, because it's something that you said, and it's the way that you said it may be different than you said it recently. And it's like, dang. Now I understand, because see, I'm gonna give you a perfect example. I think I can't remember her name. It's Mama something. I heard you mention her name in the chat.
Yeah, Mama Max.
Mama Max said something that I picked up on. She said that a lot of people don't call in because they feel intimidated by you. Gotcha. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's not that. Oh. People don't realize when they ask a question in the chat. It's just like when you're texting back and forth with a person. Sometimes the translation can get misconstrued. what you really meant, because there's no emotion behind it.
Right.
A lot of people in the chat probably don't realize they need to call in more, because now they can have a back and forth with you, and you can't misscrew what they're saying, and they can't misscrew what you're saying.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Versus being intimidated, they need to call in because they can get that back and forth. Like, well, LJ, what if I did it this way versus this way? You could break it down to them why this way is better versus the other way.
Yeah, just with math too. And you know, so crazy when I think about it, I'm like, you know, it's even now to this day, it amazes me. Something so simple is so powerful. It's mind blowing. It just blows my mind every day. It's just like, wow, man, millions of people have no idea what we talk about here even exists.
Right.
Don't even know. It's crazy. It's still mind blowing to me to this day.
Me too. And when I be telling people about the channel and you know, and explaining different things, I was like, I'm mad at myself, just like how you be saying. I'm so mad of all these people that I know. Ain't nobody else ever talked about debt this way.
Right.
And I was telling people, I said, look, if you ask any of your friends what type of mortgage they have, and they start telling you that they got a what's the word? FHA. Subprime mortgage is because everybody around them has that. So everybody around them think, oh, if everybody has it, it must be good. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. You still there, Stephen? Did we lose you? I can't hear you. Did you hit mute?
I'm still here.
Okay.
I think I accidentally hit mute.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, the FHA loan, I just tell them, say, look, just because you think FHA is good because everybody around you is talking about that's what they have. So it just makes you think, oh, I need to go out and get me an FHA loan. If you got one and you got one, I said,
right.
Don't look at it like that. You separate yourself as an individual. Don't do what you see everybody else do.
And you know what's even deeper than that? This is what is even deeper than that. Only people with mortgages suggest others get them.
Right, exactly.
If I have a paid off house, do you think I'm gonna tell my family or friends, hey man, you should get a mortgage? No, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna say, hey, this is how you do it without a mortgage.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna just tell you, man, it's a lonely existence. I think today might be my last day on Facebook, because I be seeing so many. See, I have like 3 people who are friends of mine that are realtors, and some of the stuff they be posting on their timeline, like I be wanting to jump in and say something, but like I can't do it. I can't. I can't do it because I know what they're telling them. I know that they're telling them they're getting, they're talking about credit scores, and they're talking about, being able, I can, if your credit score is this, we can help you get in. We can help you with special financing. I'm like, I can't. I'll be like, I can't read this. I can't keep reading this.
You can't. You can't even say nothing. You can't comment in there and say anything. You can't do it because it's business. They're not doing. They're not doing anything illegal. So it's a legal business, right? You understand? Because anything outside of that will be your feelings.
Right, exactly. Because I be wanting to post. I be like, because I know I had this one post. I didn't post it, but I was going to, but I didn't hit send. I was like, I had this post that said, now that we're in November, a lot of companies are going through open enrollment. Do you know if you're going to match are you going to match your 401k? If you think you maxing by getting the company match, you're doing it wrong.
Right. Oh yeah. You can't say that. You cannot say that. You'll expose yourself, just like NC Biggs was talking about. If I was in a work environment, I would never say that. They would see me.
Right.
I would expose myself. They'd be like, "Ooh, LJ, who are you?" I'd be like, "Oh shoot, they found out I'm an alien." Never mind. I didn't mean that. I got the company match too. Yeah, right. I'm getting 6%. I'll be vested in how many every years they say we're gonna be vested in, so I'll stay here that long. It's crazy, man.
Right. Yeah, man. I've been making moves in the background. Look, I'm down to one credit card. Once I
Okay.
do that, once I pay that off, only thing I'm gonna have is my mortgage.
Nice.
So once I get, I'm setting myself up. I believe I'll have it paid off by March or April. Once I do
paid off by March or April.
my last credit card.
Oh, okay. I thought you said your mortgage. Oh, like,
Man.
damn.
No, once I do that, I feel like I'm in a situation where,
Of course.
you know, I'm zero. I'm getting close to north of zero.
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna give you that call. I'm gonna set up that consultation. Say, hey, what's the best move to make after this? You know what I'm saying? Because
I got those answers. I definitely got those answers for sure.
And you know, I only thing I can tell everybody in the chat, like, look, just listening to what LJ is telling you, because I found him in June, and I'm telling you, I've paid off. I can't give you a figure, but I'm gonna just tell you like this. You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't, because what I was doing is, you know, when the shutdown happened, my company didn't shut down, and I was working from home, so I was just stacking money. And then when I found, and that happened in March, so when I found you, it was like, okay, from March to June, I had stacked so much money. When I heard you talking about paying off debt, I was like, damn, it ain't no need of me saving no money. I got this debt, and I just start throwing money at the debt. And look, I freed up my mind, because I told you, even though most of my utilities, the ones that I have, I was not able to get a discounted rate for paying them off, but it just freed my mind out mentally for that, prepare myself for when I do get out of debt. I'm just telling, look, I don't have no more due dates other than my mortgage. Other than my mortgage, I have no more. It's like it's almost like I don't have. Like, I'm trying to find out. Okay, what do I do with my time, since I have no more bills due for the rest of this year? All my bills. Look, everything is. I mean, everything.
It changes everything.
It changes everything. Everything. I mean, I have, like, I removed all my due dates from my calendar. Only thing is on there is my mortgage. So it's like, I don't have to think about paying anything until January.
Freeze your mind. Your mind is totally free. People don't understand that part. You're not scared of your mailbox anymore, because you know nothing's gonna be in there.
Right.
Except what you want to be in there. Only thing gonna be in there is what you ordered. Other than that, that's it.
Yeah, man. I get so much junk. I get so much junk mail, because everybody, you know, since I went through closing, everybody is always sending me letters, banks trying to give me loans, trying to give me
how you can get rid of that, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna start doing.
Yeah, wait for one of them free envelopes, and then you stack all that junk mail in it, stuff it, make sure it's nice and heavy, and then send it back. They'll stop.
That's what I'm gonna do, because I use this thing called informed delivery, where when the post office gets my mail, they scan the front. So every morning I get a text, and I could click and go into my account, and I could actually see every letter that I'm going to get that day.
Oh,
so I can tell if I have an important letter in the box. They scan the front of the envelope of all your mail. So by like 9 o'clock in the morning, I go to the USPS website into my account, and I can see every letter that I'm going to get at 3 o'clock. It'll show. So it's called informed. And so what another thing is cool about informed delivery is informed delivery.
Informed, and that's part of USPS.
That's part of USPS. And what's cool, especially for you, you know, as an entrepreneur, is that, let's say you order something from that's going to have it's going to have to get scanned, like say second day mail or something like that. You don't even have to worry about tracking numbers, because once they scan it and it gets attached to your address, there's a inbox. In your inbox, it shows you your mail. Over to the right, it shows you all your packages. So once they scan it and they see that it's coming to your address in South Carolina, it automatically goes into your inbox with the tracking number. So you can track your packages from that site. Yes, and it's free. I've been
Wow.
using it for about 4 years now. Because what happened is my mailbox is not in front of my door. So I
Type
was
that
like,
name again in the chat. Type that name again in the chat if you can.
okay, let me see. Yeah, because that's how I
That's
check my
cool.
mail. Let's see if I can
But
find
I don't,
it.
you know, like I said, I don't really have anything, no mail coming to me. I don't have no junk mail. The only thing I make sure my utilities stay on paper because they be trying to get you to go green. Hey, go paperless. No, I want to see it because they be changing stuff sometimes. I like to see it. But other than that, it's good. I'm good.
Trying to see if I can get this thing to copy and paste. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can put it in the chat. Come on. So because my mailbox is not it's right around the corner. It takes me like about 2-3 minutes to actually get to it. So I was like, man, I ain't wasting my time going to the mailbox. I just go to that site, look to see if I got any important mail. And I was like, in my mailbox, I'll get to it, man. My mailbox would be stuff like, dang, I'm surprised the mailman was able to get anything in there, because I might go to my mailbox about once every 2 weeks. If I don't see seriously, if I don't see anything important in there, but I go a little bit often now because there's so much junk mail. But like you said, I'm gonna start stuffing in and sending it back. But
those free envelopes, those free returns.
But it's like,
oh, did you hit mute again? I think you hit mute again. Steven? Can't hear you.
Wait a minute, I'm trying to come back in.
There we go. I think I hear you now.
Oh, all right, yeah. I think when I left the screen to go to that postal website, it took some of you hit on mute.
Gotcha.
But yeah. I start going more because I've been getting more and more letters, because I think it's towards the end of the year. All these mortgage veterans to try to refinance. All of them, they be sending it's like under the VA, it's like about 10 different companies that are that process VA loans. So I'm getting letters from all these different companies that do VA loans, and they're trying to get, lowered the rate to like 2.5 now.
They're trying to get you locked into today. The purpose is they're trying to get you locked into today's rates. So when the market crashes, they'll still be paying today's mortgage payments on the house they financed today.
Exactly. Exactly.
The banks are smart, man. Very smart.
Yeah.
All right, man. We're gonna wrap this up, man. I am tired.
Yeah. I appreciate you letting me come
on. Thank you, Nicer, for jumping on. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, can I wrap it up for you guys now?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right, just a second. Speaking of facts that outlast generations, here is a simple math demonstration of a small percentage of the population who snuffed all debt out the equation and set up shop right here on YouTube. You want to join us? Smart move, dude. Ain't no hocus pocus, ain't no voodoo. Just focus and put SMD at the top of your to-do. We'll cheer you on to the threshold when you cross it with your first supersized monetary deposit and flip the game on the bank on some boss shit. We taking everything but the kitchen faucet. We recognize mathematics is an absolute. Anything that don't align is a straight up fluke. Enough of the nonsense. We putting our boots down. Yay. Check in, mate. I'm going on mute now. That's what's up.
Wow, that was amazing. I ain't gonna lie. That's you could. Nicer knows how to use these words, man. You guys don't even. You don't even get it, man. This woman is with words. She is amazing. God. It's like you hear her on the mic, you wouldn't think the words are to match the same, but it's like night and day. So don't be fooled. She'll slice you and dice you with these words, man. That's nice.
That's something. When I seen the notice that you were doing a live today, I was like, oh, I ain't spit a hot 16 in a while. Let me jot something down real quick. So that's just what I jotted down.
You said
like just before I jumped on your live stream.
See how you just say it? It's something that I jotted down. See, that's a natural thing. That's just that's more than jotted down. Well, thank
Well,
you.
I do. I say it's so writing is so easy to me because I put so much time and energy mastering it. I'm talking since back in high school. I had an English teacher. Well, I was just writing poetry back then, but she would give me writing exercises that helped improve my writing. And then in the early 2000s, I came across this native website. It's not there anymore, but there used to be a whole bunch of other MCs um that would post their written, what we call writtens down, but post their lyrics on there. And then I started getting into that, and that's how I was able to increase my wordplay, punchlines, and such and so forth even further.
That is just amazing, and it's clear. It's clear that you can. I mean, I could just tell by reading what you write and the words that you write when you spit these bars too. That's amazing.
Right.
Thank.
And I was listening, and of course it's who you listen to as far as hip hop goes. You know, you're gonna catch on to their styles, to like Nas, Rakim. I don't know if you heard of Jean Grey, but she's a MC out of New York. Her just like she's way sick. She's like um what I was aspiring to be at the time while I was writing. Of course, I didn't have any aspirations to actually record anything that I written. Well, because my voice is real soft spoken. I don't think that would go over too well. I won't be much of selling selling much of my music. You know what I'm saying? But I do love to write.
You could write their stuff though. You could definitely write their stuff.
Oh yeah, easily be a ghostwriter. I've been writing some other stuff too, and I got some music software on my laptop where because I got the writing part down, but it is coming up with the melody.
That's crazy.
For songs.
Are there a lot of ghostwriters out there? There must be a ton of them, huh?
There are a lot. There are a lot. There's like a lot of your mainstream MCs actually give each other songs. See, like for instance, Will Smith has a song called "The Rain" that was written by Common, and when you hear it, you can tell that's like that you can tell we're listening to Will Smith. That's his voice, but the lyrics are someone else's. But that's like one of my favorite Will Smith songs because it's so different from anything else that he's ever put out when he was making music.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. See, I see a lot of people don't. We don't, as listening to music, I don't really say, I wonder if somebody else wrote that song from. You know, you just hear the singer singing and assume that he wrote it, but he or she wrote it. So.
Yeah, it's a pretty common thing. I can't confirm it because I'm not a Drake fan, but people say that somebody ghostwrites his music.
Is that public information or no?
I don't know. I can't confirm or deny it. It's just something that I've heard from several different people.
Right. I mean, if I was there, I mean, does it really matter if somebody else wrote it and you sing it? Does it matter?
No, I don't think it should because any other genre of music, a lot of the times the singer or the performer of the song isn't the person who wrote the song.
Right. Okay. No.
So it shouldn't be a big thing
I was curious.
or a requirement of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Well, because you always hear people, and sometimes you'll hear, "Oh man, so and so don't even write his own songs." Every time I hear that, I'm like, "So what? Who cares if he didn't write it?" You know?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Nicer. Well, thank you for jumping on. I'm about to get off here. I am tired. We've been 2 hours today. Appreciate everyone for jumping on.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Of course.
And I'll see y'all later. And peace and love to my SMD fam.
All right. Same to you. All right, everyone. I'm going to wrap this up. I'm Set Apart says, download Rap Chat. They have lots of beats you can record on there too. Okay, Rap Chat. Did I write that? Let me see. Let me look up Rap Chat. I think that's for you, Nicer. Snapchat. 1 million downloads. Okay. All right, everyone. You guys have a wonderful evening. All right, later.